Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Starlight Expeditions Pokerole, Chapter 1, Episode 4, Path Along the Rainbow. We are, this is an impromptu little thing, though we are normally going to be streaming this game on Saturdays. We just decided to do a random extra episode here today. So, let's go ahead and get this brought up here. As always, do remember to check the description down below on each of our channels where you can find various links associated with each of us. In my case, I have my link tree, which will give you links to the Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and a whole lot more. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Rygon to start with introductions.
Okay. Hello, my name is Rygon. I am the storyteller for this game. Our crew is stuck in something kind of interesting, so I look forward to seeing how everything progresses. We're going to give player introductions here in just a moment. Please be aware, all audiences, that we will not be responding to chat, except for potentially follows, subscriptions, and donations. Even then, this will be a variable depending on each individual's channel, so don't expect it from everybody. Now, with that out of the way, Blue, go ahead and start off our introductions.
Hi there, I am Blue Draconics 381. I'm streaming this over at, well, Blue Draconics 381. And I play Azurith Jangmo-o. Yeah. Also, YouTube, we stream this over on Twitch. Come by. Next.
I am Razim, and I am playing Jet, the Fulminian form Rockruff, meaning I am an electric ghost type. Aurum?
I am Aurum, and I play Argus, the scaredy cat tyrant, who has an attraction for picking up just about everything. Werny.
Upset on me. I'm Wearnable, and I play Imus, the Growlith.
And finally, for the players, I am Lyndon, and I play Jolene, the Milcery.
All right, we're going to go ahead and turn the recap over to... I believe I had Azurith do it on Saturday, so... Argus, go for it.
First one.
What?
I did the first recap.
Okay, fine. Jolene.
Okay. I will do my best here. What I can remember clearly is that we went and battled the... we went to do this stuff in the place. I'm trying to remember. 1 second. Can't remember if it was our last episode or the episode before that we did the stuff with the rock and the scorpions.
That was last episode.
Okay, so I am remembering right. Okay, I have sometimes get things mixed together, so I was trying to remember which session that was. So last session we had meteor shower hit, and we took cover. Then scorpions, because everybody was out to get us with the weather. We managed to knock out the majority of the scorpions pretty quickly, and then finish them off. And then we went to the gate to Overgrowth, I think is what the place is called.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we met a Clef Key, a adorable little creature who had a little puzzle for us, a little game. We had to pick the right key to be able to get through. After playing a game of hot and cold, we got the right key, which was a melted handled key, and went into place, the Overgrowth. And as we were going in, we managed to find a pit. I believe it was a pit. Yeah, it was a little pit that everybody kind of fell into. And we ended shortly after that.
It was a slightly inconvenient pit.
Yeah, slightly inconvenient pit. That's what it was.
It almost drowned me.
You
Oh,
were
I'm
fine.
sure you were.
Thank you very much for that recap. So now, as we move forward, our characters.
I
What's
would
up?
like to say one more thing real quick. A little bit more explanation for everyone here. So some of you may have noticed that we do Ethereal Influence. It did happen on Saturday. I just wanted to explain a little bit more for those on other channels, both on Blue and Rygon's channels. Basically, Ethereal Influence is something that I've been doing on my channel for a very long time now, where you guys are able to make things happen in the games. We also have Streamloots cards that you can purchase or get through my egg coins for free, my channel points for free, and influence the game that way. Do remember that all influence goes through the DM for approval before it actually gets implemented into the game. So Rygon will decide if it is appropriate or not, and if it's not, you'll be refunded your points and you can use them for something else. If you do donate to either Blue or Rygon, while it will not complete the donation goal on my channel, you will still get the Sable Crowns, which are what are used. It's the currency used for influence. You will get some Sable Crowns to be able to influence things through my channel setup with that. Just so you all know.
Mm-hmm. So
Just
if you want to
wanted to
support
get
one
that
of
out
us,
there.
you still can.
Yeah, you can still support
and-
them and still be able to influence and such.
Exactly. Of course, donations and whatnot aren't required. That is all up to all of you. And of course, if anyone does, we do appreciate it.
Never hurt yourself
anything else?
with it.
Exactly. Anything else that anyone else wants to say before we continue?
That was it for me.
Okay. So after our group managed to get out of the mildly inconvenient hole, they came across a collapsed building that had a variety of sounds coming from it. It's a little hard to discern exactly what kind of sounds, but what can be heard or seen are lots of bright flashing lights. And around the entrance of the collapsed building seem to be a variety of dull crystals. Just black and gray little things that don't seem to really do much. Darest
Okay.
our heroes to enter and find out what lies within?
I did collect a crystal from last time.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty easy to pull out of the ground.
My pretty crystal. I'm going to turn it into a nightlight.
Okay. So what does everyone do?
I am going to push Azurith in front so that he can check out first.
Hey. Why are you pushing me?
Well, if none of you
because-
want to do it first, I'll go ahead and do it.
No,
Jet's
I'll
gonna go over
go.
to the door and kind of tap on it with his paw.
The door swings open and kind of collapses down. Its hinges haven't rotted away a very long time ago.
Jet just looks down at his paw. I didn't realize I was quite that strong.
Well, if you're gonna break things, I'm heading on in first. And Azurus proceeds to walk in.
And
Okay.
immediate death.
Nothing really happens at the entrance, other than you notice that as you are proceeding further in, the crystals seem to be slightly larger than they were on the outside.
I'd like to inspect these crystals.
Yeah, you can inspect them. Are you wishing to inspect one?
Yes, I wish to inspect them.
Okay. You pick up one of the slightly larger crystals, and it seems pretty much the same as the ones at the entrance. It's dark gray. There's not much really going on with it. It's generally raised up into about 3 different points. Much in the way a natural crystal of growth would be, but it doesn't seem to really be made out of any substance that you can readily identify. It's like a sort of a transparent, not transparent material. And it doesn't feel quite like any rock that you know.
And these are interesting little rocks.
As you talk while holding the crystal, little brief flashes of light emanate from it. Almost in the same tone and pace as you're talking.
Azurus looks back, or more or less, goes back slightly, in a bit of surprise. Was not expecting this for sure. And then he goes. He goes up and whispers with, "Boo."
You hear a faint, almost garbled boo come from it.
Why, this is unusual. This rock seems to mimic me in an unusual way. He turns and looks to the party, holding the crystal in one of his paws.
Argus is going to pull the crystal out of his bag and try talking to it, like, hello? And see if he can get it to flash lights.
It also flashes lights, and you can hear a very much fainter hello come from it. It's weaker than what had emanated from the other crystal.
I think the bigger crystals make bigger lights, and I want a bigger crystal so I can have a better nightlight.
Are there bigger or more of them?
Currently, in the position you all are at, there are more of them, but they aren't bigger.
And this is inside, like just inside this little hut?
Just inside the entrance, and it's a collapsed building. You can see a dark hallway extending further in. Great, like flashes of light occasionally emanating from it, but that's about it. Intuition would probably state that bigger crystals are further in.
Jet's gonna move ahead. He's gonna pick up one of the crystals. And try humming and seeing if it lights up.
It hums in a distorted kind of way, and it only lasts as long as the hum does.
Alright, well, Jet's going to use, holding it in his mouth, he's going to hum and use the crystal as a light source for going into the hallway.
It gives off a faint light, but it's enough for you to see around you a little bit. You can see what appears to be kind of like collapsed shelving of some kind. There are many, many broken things around you, but it's hard to really discern exactly what they used to be. Amusingly enough, though, it doesn't seem like there's any vegetation around.
He's gonna set down his crystal and look back at the others. I don't know if I, like this place. I feel like it should have been taken over. What was that?
It's got glowing crystals.
Yes, but, do I get like a creepy vibe at all from here, or...
You can kind of feel the fur on the back of your neck raised, although you don't quite know why.
Normally, nature is... I feel like nature would have overtaken this place unless something awful happened here.
Argus is just excited to have a better light. So he's ready to move on inward.
Well, darling, something mighty bad happened here. Something mighty bad. Something bad might have happened here, but we can only hope that that's far in the past.
Well, I guess we can go ahead and investigate anyways, but definitely keep your guard up, everyone. And Jet's gonna lead the way on and keep up with the humming for producing light.
Okay.
Argus is following close behind. He wants to find a good big crystal he can take home. That is his big goal. All fear has just left him right now.
Okay. For those of you in front, go ahead and put yourselves in front. So go ahead and put yourselves in the order you're going to be in.
Zim is on top of Argus, apparently.
Okay.
Hello,
Where to
Commander. In response to your
Azareth, you
request,
wanna
we have sent
adjust?
backup. Good luck, Commander. We are forever
Sorry,
in your
couldn't hear you.
debt.
I was just
wait
going
a
to say that
moment.
Jolene...
Blue, you wanna adjust your positions?
Oh, no, mine is fine as is. Wait, how do I...
Yeah, I was just going to say that Jolene's kind of sticking beside Azareth because she was going to ask him something, but I was going to wait till everybody has got their positions properly placed first.
Zoro, thank you very much for that gift sub.
I think now would be a good time to ask the question.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I have to remember what it is. My roommate just messaged me, and then I read that, and then it was like, oh, what was I about to ask?
Don't forget that you guys can flip your coins in front of you if you're just not able to get something in edgewise. Like, especially if
Yeah.
I'm talking and taking the lead here, I will keep an eye on those coins and let you in somewhere.
Yeah, and I will always, if I feel like the conversation's going, I'll say something so you can get a word in edgewise as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead
Just so you
if
know-
Where Animals All Right. Go ahead.
Just so you all know, you can hover over it and hit F on your keyboard to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If everything's good, Where Animal, are you in the position you'd like to be in? Just kind of in the more backish area.
Wernimal, are you there?
You can
They
you
did
can
say
type
they
to
were
us.
Muted.
Yeah.
He said family is nearby.
You
Oh,
can
yeah, they
type
can.
to us by pressing enter and then typing whatever it is you'd like. If I don't hear anything, I'll assume that something is kind of going on, and I'll just put you in the back if that's all right.
I do want to say I'm also not in the best mood. I am feeling out of it.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if everything becomes a bit too overwhelmed, we can always end a little bit early. All right.
I will say that Azurth will put down the crystal and follow on.
Okay. As you all kind of proceed forward, you can see that the crystals are very steadily kind of getting bigger and bigger. And as you are moving along, you can see little flashes of light and color coming from the crystals themselves, almost as if they were bouncing around the various different gems. There's also a bit of a low kind of hum in the air. It's nothing harmful, but it's something that you can't really put to the back of your mind. It's changing in pitch and then frequency and then tempo, just enough that you can't ignore it, however much you try to. But it doesn't seem to be hurting anybody. It's just sort of there.
Are these crystals just flashing on their own? Or is it like with our footsteps and
They seem to be responding not only to your footsteps, but to something deeper within the building. Almost as if something were bouncing from a more central location and then coming on out, like spreading out like a ripple in a pond.
and I grab a bigger crystal and
Okay.
replace my small crystal with a bigger crystal that's flashing with the colors and the humming and the Argus is very excited with his bigger crystal.
It's sizable, but now it's starting to reach the point where you can't really put them into your pack.
Okay. I will be carrying this crystal.
There still
If
seems to
the-
be some evidence of shelving around, as well as destroyed, something. It seems artificial. But other than that, there's not really many clues as to what this place used to be. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know how big of a crystal Jet got, but if there is one that seems to be brighter that he could comfortably hold in his mouth, uh, he'll, bigger, brighter, whatever, he will pick that up.
Okay. Yeah, go somewhere along the way. You managed to find a somewhat larger, more comfortable crystal.
Eggs.
That is a moderate influence. One moment. I'm not sure about this one, Zorro, but I will send it to the DM.
That's an interesting point, and while I normally would accept it, there's something very specific I'm doing with this room, so I unfortunately cannot accept this moderate ethereal influence. At least not yet. So if you wish to send it again in the future, please do.
I have refunded it.
Okay, thank you. All right. So you all are about, you're in the first hallway, and you can see now that there is a bit of a left and a right. Which path do you take?
What can we see down each path?
The left path appears to hold some more of the steadily enlarging crystals, as well as the I don't know, it's something flashing. On the other side, you can see a single empty door. It has no crystals in front of it.
Argus is just like excitedly bouncing up and down. Can we go to the more crystals?
You really should not be bouncing up and down like that. We don't know who's here. We gotta be careful, okay?
Are we?
But Jet will go ahead and head down the left one that does not have the door.
Okay. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone else wish to approach the door?
I figure we'll go back.
Zareth will go as well.
Okay.
At least my plan is to come back for the door, but...
As you... is that everyone? Everyone's going to the same direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you all are heading down the hallway, something is just kind of rubbing you the wrong way. The lights are getting a bit brighter. The sound is getting kind of obnoxiously loud. And the crystals themselves seem to be getting even larger. It's nothing dangerous, but something's kind of putting you on edge, and you're not really sure what. At this point, could everybody please roll for me a... an insight contest etiquette.
I have a question, DM. Well,
whoops.
how would soundproof come to play for
There we
this?
In terms of what?
Oh, well, because soundproof negates sound, and damage and sound effects.
You have an ability like that?
I have soundproof.
And that's your natural ability?
Yes.
He chose soundproof instead of bulletproof.
Okay. The sound that you hear, Ezerith, is at a kind of a dull mummer. You still kind of hear it, but it doesn't really bother you at all. And let me check to see what everybody else rolled. Okay. I would like everybody to roll a 1d6, please. If you roll a 6, please roll again. Except for you, Ezerith.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to be typing to each of you individually, so give me a moment. Da, 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 da. And if I type to you, please don't say what I typed to you. Just react.
Like in character or?
In character, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you wanted us to react, to, respond to you or something, but.
Yeah. And we'll do that as soon as I finish typing to everybody.
Okay.
All right. I believe I should have messaged everyone except you, Blue.
Fair enough.
Okay. Go ahead and play out your roles accordingly.
Jet is gonna look back at Argus right on his tail. Would you please just calm down? Stand back. We gotta be careful here. Okay?
Stop being so pushy.
You're the one literally pushing me. Literally. Step back.
I'm not touching you.
Near enough.
Azarius will look extremely confused, be like, wait, did Argus push Jet to Azarius?
I don't know. Argus, did you touch him?
I didn't touch anyone.
Then no. You maybe saw a brush of a claw.
I think you two need to calm down.
I am more than happy to be calm if he would just step back.
Maybe you should step forward.
Or maybe you two can just go to the opposite side of the group.
Great idea. Get in the back, Argus.
Why don't you get in the back?
Well, I'm the one currently in the front.
I don't
Well,
think
you won't
you're
be in the front if you're in the back.
Argus, darling, do you really want to be argumentative right now? Well, you're the one who's afraid of just about everything, and you're suggesting that the one leading us not be leading us.
Afraid of everything.
Darling, you were afraid of just about everything we've encountered so far.
I'm not afraid of this, he says, holding up the crystal. And then he plops on his butt and glares at Jet.
Darling,
Werenimal has typed that Amos is pushing Azurith ahead.
Is everything alright? Amos? That was... I wonder if I had... Oh.
Jet is shooting a glare at Argus and proceeding ahead. Keeping up his humming to keep the crystal glowing. Though definitely sounding a more agitated humming.
Okay. Does anyone follow?
Yep. Jolene is going to follow a little closer behind than she had been. Her eye twitching slightly.
Azurus is a bit concerned for the group, being like, okay, y'all are acting weird. Is the flashing lights?
Amos is just grumbling in response to Azurith.
Argus is gonna let Jolene and Azareth go ahead so that he has, someone in the way between him and Jet. The annoying dog telling him what to do.
Okay. As you all continue proceeding forward, the crystals themselves are almost big enough to take up significant spaces in the room. They're almost as large as chairs now. And that noise, it bounces back and forth. Distorted voices, sound. Anything you could imagine is going through these crystals in that same low, intense, distorted. It's still not dangerous. None of your ears are hurting. It just won't stop. And you can hear in the crystals the voices of your teammates grumbling back and forth, distorted, mocking you. And the flashes of light, they're starting to get bright enough that not only do you no longer need a light source, but you can see it starting to pierce through your eyelids. Just bright colors of all shades and manners, just coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. What is perhaps most surprising, though, is that the crystals have now been joined by something else. Little bright squares where you can see what seems to be falling snow, the occasional image of something flashing through them. And the crystals in turn seem to respond to these little bright squares, raising and lowering as the pitch of these little bright squares flash. What do you all do? You can see ahead of you another hallway, and some of you with the more sensitive noses can pick up a scent of fresh air.
Can Argus grab a square?
Yeah, you grab at one of the squares and it seems to almost collapse underneath its own weight, immediately kind of vanishing. Though there's so many in the room, it would be hard to do anything with any of them.
These are ungrabbable squares.
Squares? Why are you grabbing the squares?
Because they look pretty.
Argus! I said we need to be careful.
I am being careful. I didn't know it would break with a touch. You wouldn't know
Touching
until
it in
you
the
touch it.
first place is not being careful.
Well, what am I supposed to do to experiment?
Nothing right now.
I'm going to touch another square.
The square is a bit sturdier, and it doesn't collapse underneath its own weight, but it does immediately turn off as soon as you hold it.
Ooh, that's new. Can I turn it back on if I poke it again?
Unfortunately, no. You try and fiddle with some of the knobs and the handles or this or that, and it doesn't seem like it's really doing much other than maybe making some of the crystals around you a little bit brighter, a little bit louder.
Wait, are the crystals getting brighter and louder?
They might be.
Can I find the crystal button? Argus is just gonna start twisting knobs on every single one of the squares. Knobs, buttons, whatever he can. He's enjoying this.
Let's get a move on. My eyes are starting to hurt.
Jet is going to he's going to attempt to do his charge stone again. Trying to launch one of the crystals at one of the squares that Argus is messing with.
Okay, give me an accuracy.
Accuracy, not the straight D6?
Nope, just go ahead and give me an accuracy. See if you hit.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, you mean the 1d6. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
I thought you meant something else.
Okay, doesn't work.
Wow.
No, but your attack does seem to affect the crystals in a not too pleasant way. Now, instead of it just being lights and sound, a little charge of electricity is zapping around the room. It's not dangerous. It's not like, even if it happens to fizzle close to someone, it doesn't really affect them. But it almost seems like it's just zipping around, adding to the madness that's going on. Everyone, go ahead and roll for me a insight contest etiquette, please.
The etiquette is the really interesting part. Hey.
Blue, you're good. Jolene, you're good. Jet, Argus, and Amos,
Wow.
you're good. Jen, Argus, you just get really, really upset right now. You know to whom.
What was that about being careful? And now you've made it even worse.
Well, perhaps you were making it worse in the first place.
I didn't
Stop
start electric sparks
touching
everywhere.
things.
You're the one who tried to zap me.
It was not aimed at you, though I wish I had.
I'll aim something at you.
Alright, that's it. Jet, let's go. Jolene, can you make sure Argus gets out fine? I'm getting Jet out of this place. And Azurth will start nudging Jet towards the light in the hallway.
The hallway's dark.
I thought there was...
I mean, ahead is light.
Yes.
Behind us is dark.
Yeah. I mean, you can see a very faint natural light at the end of the hallway, and you can smell fresh air.
Let's just get some fresh air. We were fine, 10 minutes ago. But the moment we got in, you guys started seeming agitated. Let's just keep a calm head and not make any rash decisions.
Jet is turning on Azareth. Why are you taking his side on this? He's the one that's messing around with everything and pushing and shoving, and it's not my fault that he runs at everything.
So, why are you getting really agitated about this?
Oh, so now it's my fault, is it?
Maybe. We can talk about it later. Let's just move out of this. How the lights hurt.
Jet is going to grumble, but proceed forward through the hallway. The humming that he was doing before is now replaced by grumbling and growling.
Okay.
Azurus is following, keeping an eye on Jet, and occasionally glancing back to the rest of the group and Jolene and Argos and Amos. I say it like it's a Spanish name.
Argos.
No, not Argos, Amos. I like Vamos or Vominos.
Yeah.
God, now you have the Dora song stuck in my head.
That's a you problem. I haven't heard that. Oh God,
It's a
no!
Zim problem.
No!
Because he does that to torture me.
I literally have a command on my Alexa where, I think it's get rid of Tiger. And it just starts playing one of the Dora songs, and Orem immediately leaves the room.
What were you saying, Jolene?
Yeah, Jolene is going to like put a hand on the equivalent of a shoulder or
Noble.
of Argus. Yeah. I'm not sure. I guess dinosaurs still have shoulders. They have to have shoulders for their little nubbly arms to.
I have to have a shoulder. I'm holding a bigger crystal, which I'm probably going to grab an even bigger one.
God, you and your crystals. But Jolene's
It's a
going to say.
nightlight.
Jolene's going to say, "Darling, we should probably stay a few steps back from them and also make our way out. And we don't want no more fighting, just in case we have to do some more fighting later on.
I don't want to go where Jet's going.
Would you rather be stuck here
grumbling.
by yourself?"
Well, then I'm more than happy to let you go the other way. I am going this
Jet.
way.
Argus is going to stick his tongue out at Jet when he turns to go, and then go back to fiddling with squares. Just because he knows it gets on Jet's nerves.
Darling, you're playing a dangerous game here. Jolene's eye is
Danger's
starting
my
to
middle
twitch.
name, I think.
Jolene's eye is starting to twitch even more, and her smile is getting to be one of those smiles of the you should stop before you press the wrong button.
Maybe you
Warning,
should tell-
warning. Self-destruct sequence activated.
Oh god.
You're testing.
Destruct sequence? That doesn't sound good.
The crystals themselves appear to be getting louder and brighter with every single word that's being spoken, with every single step that is being taken. They almost seem like they are feeding off of the energy of the group. But instead of anyone feeling weaker, they are just simply getting brighter and louder and more intense to the point now where they're starting to hurt a little bit.
Maybe I should stop messing with the squares.
You think?
I'm still getting a big crystal. Can I grab a crystal that's like bigger? The
you
biggest one
can.
I can carry around. Like the size of, I don't know.
Sure,
Bigger.
go for it.
One big
You-
F crystal.
So, as a final thing, you're grabbing a crystal, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me a dexterity fight evasion, please. As you are reaching down to grab a big old chunky crystal, it suddenly vibrates violently and explodes. Unfortunately, since you were pretty much right there in front of it, you feel some of the shards kind of puncture into you. Do you have any resistances to rock?
Yes,
Okay.
I am a rock type. Wait, am I resistant? No, rock doesn't resist rock?
Really?
I could have
Okay.
sworn rock resisted rock.
Yeah. Rock.
All right. You are thrown backwards to crunch right into a series of the bright squares and other crystals. And they begin getting brighter and louder and brighter and louder, almost in a never-ending cascade. You take 2
I
damage.
told you! I told you this would happen! But no,
Why are you
you
yelling down the
didn't
hallway?
listen!
It's your fault for electrifying everything.
Oh, I definitely don't think that's the case. If you didn't mess around with it in the first place,
Cat,
this
stop
wouldn't be
yelling down the hallway.
happening.
Cat, stop yelling down the hallway. Please.
Everybody but Azareth, go ahead and roll for me. Insight contest etiquette.
The etiquette is what makes it really interesting. I want to know why. I'll ask later.
Okay, Jolene, you're fine.
I don't know if she's very fine with this arguing going on, but
But Argus,
Oh.
Argus and Jet, you're feeling really mad at each other right now. Like really mad. Like this is probably one of the maddest you probably have ever felt in your life.
Rygon, out of character here. You said you don't want PvP.
No, this isn't meant to go into PvP. Actually,
I'm
that's
just
more or
about to
less
throw a
your
rock at him.
choices.
like, I'm trying to avoid PvP, but at this point, it's getting to the point where that's probably what this is going to turn into.
Oh, this is gonna be funny then.
I'm gonna roar at you.
If you two are gonna roar, do it outside, not in this whatever. It's so bright in here, my eyes. Ah.
What does everyone do?
I'm going to pick up my old, not as bright and not as explodey crystal.
Okay.
And then start. Yeah, we should leave the room because it's explodey because of a stupid dog. So we should leave before we blow up. As I say the stupid dog part, I'm very much glaring at Jet.
Our modest
Is there-
fellowship expands. Praise the sub.
Tokeme
Azareth?
just resubscribed for 29 months. Blue is bounce.
Azareth will
Megan?
make sure that Jet is moving forward.
Jet is resisting. He is glaring at Argus right now. I guess I
Would
will
you like
attempt a
to-
leer.
Well, first for Blue. Blue, would you like to try and force Jet out?
It's probably gonna be what's gonna happen is like, let's keep going. Let's keep moving. Yes, so yes, I would like to force him out.
Okay, give me a strength fight brawl, please. And this is not damaging, this is you just pushing him out. Okay? Jet, you stated that you are resisting. I assume that you don't want to move?
Correct. And
All
I
right,
did
go ahead
attempt, and I am attempting leer, which I
Okay.
rolled a 6 for doing that.
Nice, good job. Go ahead and give me also a strength fight brawl then. And if you get a 1 or higher, you should succeed. Okay. You're not
now
moving.
you roll good.
Yeah.
You're not
it's-
moving at all.
Okay, when it's against another player, I always roll well. That's how my luck is. It's part of why I don't DM very often, because I will kill my players very easily.
Don't worry, guys. One goblin. This goblin has rolled 5 nat 20s. Somehow.
That has actually happened.
I'm sorry, what?
It happened to me in a game with Chim. I had a good 20-minute fight against a single goblin because I kept rolling 1s and he kept rolling 20s.
Oh,
I
That hurts.
every time it's against another player. Like, I was running Adventurers League. Panthanea can back me up on this because she was volunteering for her store. I was running as a DM, and I'm like, okay, I can't fudge rolls because this is Adventurers League. And I'm sitting here rolling 20 after 20 after 20, and I was getting complaints about me, and it was only one of the other players that overheard. At that time, I didn't have a DM screen, so one of the other players overheard one of the complaints, and they're like, no, he actually is rolling that many 20s. And I hand the dice over to somebody else so they know they can, they can test and see. It's not modified at all. It's just my luck when it's against a player is phenomenal.
Go
That's
ahead
when I
and
was
roll
told
accuracy.
Oh, on the Lear?
Yes, please.
Tough contest, intimidate.
Okay. Do you wish to dodge or clash against that, Argus?
Argus is clashing, yes. He's
Okay.
glaring back.
The power of the glares.
Which move are you using to clash?
Roar.
All right. Go ahead. Tough contest, intimidate.
Normally,
Oh, I first need to roll the... Oh, hey, he's mastered roar now.
Nice. You don't have to roar for. You don't have to roll for roar anymore.
what the fuck?
You erased my notes.
Yeah, we will need to take this table back a step.
I just
Forum,
came over to look.
Stop keeping your notes in the game.
Yeah, it's probably best to put them on a Word document. or
Notepad
Those
something.
notes
or
are the notes
something.
that are telling me what items I have.
Oh, hi. Oh, wow. Those are nice notes.
I mastered roar, but it still came out as a squeak. I think I've gotten ones on all of them.
The Lear succeeds.
Jet is
All right.
just glaring over Azareth at Argus.
Argus will eep and try to hide behind the crystal and then hide behind Jolene. He's being mean now.
Jolene is finally going to have had enough of the two of them, despite her calm demeanor, and she's going to say, "That is enough. Now, if you two do not stop this, I'm going to smack your heads together."
I want my head to touch his head.
I do not care, darling. You two are pushing every button that you can push. I do not like fighting. I do not like infighting. And I do not like arguments. They are derailing our progression to what we need to do. She is going to be just staring at between the two of them now. Her eyes, her left eye specifically, just twitching rapidly, and her smile gone.
Almost as
Argus
if on
is-
cue, a crystal somewhere behind Jolene kind of explodes and pops. Not close enough to hurt anyone, but just kind of giving a little bit of an emphasis.
Like the volcanoes behind angry people. Only this one's really pretty and much more dangerous because it's close. Argus is like slowly slinking away from Jolene because Jolene has turned into the scariest thing in the room.
Yeah.
In fact, that is now his biggest fear is now scary Jolene.
She's going to continue on by saying, "Now, Argus, darling, you need to start walking. We all need to start moving out of this area. This area is not good for us. And I swear, if you have any more to say, you better be very, very careful with your wording."
Argus opens his mouth and then clamps it shut.
And then Jolene's gonna do that motion like after you and wait for him to start walking.
Argus is picking his large but not super big crystal back up and starting to head out. Still glaring at Jet, but the leer is making him scared. So glaring, but half-ass glaring, more scared glaring.
I would like to attempt to push Jet again and get him moving.
Okay. Go ahead and
No
give me
need
a
to roll
strength.
this time.
Fair enough.
Jet will snort and turn around and proceed down the hall. Almost seeming to be acting victoriously.
Okay. As you all are heading down the hall towards what appears to be the glow of what time of day did you all leave? Nighttime. As you all see the glow of moonlight up ahead and the smell of fresh air, you eventually kind of pop out of the building. The crystals have been reduced back down to a small, almost minuscule size, with only the briefest of flashes within them. And as soon as you all head outside, you feel better. You can't even remember why you were so angry.
Does my crystal still flash brighter than the other ones outside?
No, it is at the same level of flash as the
Aw.
smaller ones.
Maybe I need to take the square home.
Ah, fresh air. Smells really nice. Shall we get moving?
Yeah. Jet is looking around and surveying the area where we're at now.
Okay, let's see what you all get.
Oh, we're moving to a new tile. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that door. I want to know what was behind that door.
That's a great question. You want to go back?
Yeah, you can go get me some
Eh,
crystals before they explode.
Trying to think of whether Jet would remember it. If he would, then he would definitely be trying to go back for it.
That's good.
We don't have time to go back. We need to save the day. We need to get a different crystal. Unless this is the crystal, but I don't think it's the crystal because this isn't the Rainbow Fall, so it's probably not the crystal, but there's always the possibility.
Okay.
I am also at the moment ruling that Azrael doesn't remember much inside of it. Sure, it didn't affect him as much, but...
Well, what you all kind of see in front of you is a wide open field. There's not really much to it. It's just simply moonlight is dancing down upon it. But it seems empty, save for at the very outskirts you can see a wide swath of different crumbled buildings and a small little river flowing, a small little creek flowing in between it all. I'll just leave it like that.
Our tiles have not been fitting together well.
No, they haven't.
I don't like these tiles.
Yeah,
Hey.
I mean, they're decent. Not the greatest, but they're decent.
I mean, if anyone wants to make new ones, feel free.
I have made some in the past. I need to make more.
I don't know how to make them.
I have them somewhere on my computer.
So, everyone, I would like you to take just a quick moment just to kind of role play out a little bit of what had just occurred. Because even though the anger is reduced, there's still that slight irritation there. So this is a chance for your characters to kind of kiss and make up, or however you wish to play it out. But this is something that will need to be done.
Argus is, he turns and glares at Jet, but then he doesn't really remember why. But before Jet turns to look at him, Argus tries to hide it by making it look like he's crossing his eyes.
Jet is going to turn around after he surveyed the area. I'm not really certain how to roleplay this. Considering we don't remember it.
Well, you do remember the irritation. You remember some of it. You just can't quite remember why you were irritated. You just know that you were irritated at the person you were irritated at.
Yeah, I think I have a good conversation starter. So, why were you guys angry at each other? Couldn't be as small as something like...
Because he yelled at me.
against each other.
I think.
Huh.
He was yelling first, though. Argus is just clutching his crystal tightly and looking into it, avoiding looking Jet in the eye.
Jet's gonna put his crystal into his bag. And just kind of sniff derisively. I don't remember why, but I'm sure I had a good reason. I don't really yell at anyone.
You yelled at me.
Well, clearly for a good reason.
Didn't seem like a good reason.
Jolene at this point is just going to clear her throat a little and say, "Darlings, please don't start arguing again. I don't remember why I was irritated at you, but I was even a little irritated at you there, Argus darling."
Why were you guys even irritated? It was just flashing lights and a low hum. Like a really deep one at that. Nothing that should have gotten anyone irritated. Oblivious to the fact that he has soundproof. Or more the fact that he doesn't know he has it.
That means you'd be immune to my roar.
Correct. Now, whatever it was, we can go investigate it later. But for now, is everyone feeling better?
Little. Wish I got the bigger crystal, though.
We can get a bigger crystal later. Jet, do you feel better
long as
now?
Jet doesn't explode it again.
Jet's just gonna growl at Argus's comment.
Jolene, do you feel better?
Jolene is taking some very deep breaths and like in 1, 2, 3, 4, doing that whole focusing yourself kind of deep breathing. And
Do you
she just kinda
inflate like
nods.
Jigglypuff?
I don't think so. Though you probably just see her mouth like pinched together, and it just you can't see it anymore for a second, and then it opens back up as she breathes out, and it's just like her mouth disappears, and her eyes are closed, so you can't see her eyes at all because it's just milk.
Pauline is a flying blob of milk.
And Amos, do you feel alright? I know you're feeling a bit grumbly too. Glad you didn't pop off.
Rygon, could I get promoted, please? I realize that I
Sure.
never actually grabbed my abilities.
Oh, do you still have the old abilities?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, is everyone done with that scene then?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Just still not
Whatever.
feeling happy, but I don't think right now he's ready to kiss and make up just yet.
Argus is carrying a large crystal around now that doesn't fit in his bag, and he's going to carry it all the way home.
Well,
He will find a way.
Would anyone like to know what exactly the encounter was that you just had, or do we want to continue on?
I want to know
Something
what was
makes me
behind that
think-
door.
You want
I
to know
wanna
what was
get
behind
his-
that door?
I want to get us moving on, but my curiosity wants to know what was behind the door.
Okay. For now, I'm going, even if you had tried to head back, I was going to put a brick wall up, so I can tell you that.
Oh.
It was you want to know?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the follow, Eternal Voidling. Behind the door was an acid trap.
You tried to kill us.
Oh.
If
Wow.
you had noticed, I had stated that there was no crystals around it. As soon as you approached it, you would have smelled an acrid stench in the air. And then if you had opened it, a cloud of acid would have essentially billowed outward. And the individual who had opened it would have just taken 1 damage.
Okay.
Unless it was Jolene, because acid is a poison move, and she would have taken double damage.
yeah.
I'm feeling a bit better about having missed it because I was, I was thinking that there would be some kind of story or something behind it.
I know we
Sometimes
were
there is,
clearly
sometimes
in
there
a
isn't.
computer room, and these were electronic or
I assume the
electrical
screens were.
crystals.
I'm kind of assuming those screens might have been monitors of some sort.
You are
The
correct.
squares.
Yep.
Wait,
The screens themselves were... Go ahead.
We were in a monitor room? What?
Mhm. The way that the scene is that those crystals are something known as Discord crystals. They react and amplify any noise and light that they are exposed to a irritating degree. With so many in the same place, however, they causes anybody within the vicinity to become irritated at somebody else to the point where if they stay too long, they will eventually come to blows. The thing itself, the crystals obviously were consuming the energies of the monsters that had still somehow been on for so long. Maybe they were in a way kind of feeding each other. But either way, they had been able to grow large, they had been able to continue, and pretty much anybody who's gone through it has just gets angry. But that's
Not
all
a
the trap
good
was.
thing. I'm going to bring one home.
Probably not the best, but now that you're actually out of it, you'll probably notice that your crystal is just dull, except for the occasional little flash if you were to talk
The little
to it.
glimmers.
Yeah.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
I was hoping to get
Rollington
one big
Darker
enough that
raided
my
my stream with
breathing would
11
set off the
viewers.
lights.
Very nice.
Rolling.
Zim, let me go ahead and say mine first real quick.
Okay.
Thank you for the follow, Vanquish. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Go ahead.
Rolling Thundaga, hello there. Thank you very much for that raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Hello there, Morat. Hello, Wimp Dork. Hello, Rolling Thundaga. We're just gonna do a regular shout out this time right now. Let me get that for you. So you were doing a tabletop as well tonight. Nice. How did your stream go there, Thundaga? And also, welcome on in, everybody. I am Raw Zim. We do variety gaming here, all sorts of things, such as Dwarf Fortress, Phasmophobia, and more here. And we also have a lot of tabletop games. Right now, we are doing Starlight Expeditions Pokerole. Normally, this game will only be on Saturdays, but we all kind of decided that we wanted to do it tonight, so here we are. But otherwise, I do all sorts of games throughout the week. We've got D&D, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, Exalted, and of course, this Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop game. I will be in the chat now, and I'm also going to bring up the a list of the others that are streamers that are participating in this game. Right now, we also are streaming alongside Blue Draconics and Rygon. There'll be links for them in the chat in a moment. And for those that are already here, do share the love by going and checking out Rolling Thundaga. And for those just coming in, don't forget to hit that follow button for me. And come join us again for more adventures. Chorby does want to know if Jolene is still squishing along.
Jolene is definitely squishing along.
Yeah. Congratulations, players, for surviving that encounter. On we go.
I'm proud of
What do you all
myself.
do?
I don't know what to say about it. I negated the encounter for myself because I had soundproof.
No, that's perfectly fine. In fact, I actually remember that that's why I selected the encounters, because you had an ability that worked against it. So I do recall that now.
Huh.
Neat.
Cool. Anyways, Azurus has decided taking the lead this time, seeing as the previous time they went through something, Jet got agitated.
Okay. Where are you going? Are you going along the outskirts, the middle, through the river, across the woods? To grandmother's house we go?
Oh, we can't go to Grandma's house. We need to go to the Rainbow Falls.
Which way is the river flowing?
The river is currently flowing away from the building. By your rough judgment, it is going north.
And the direction we need to go is north, if I'm
North.
correct?
Yep.
Like, I think we can follow the river. It's on the river's bank, and we'll make it through. Although, that
Yeah,
map...
Mr. Edge said we needed to follow the river.
Ah. Thank you for that. I actually forgot about that. I think it's fine.
Because what was it? The stallion, the blazing stallion, is at the end or along the river, and they can stock us up.
Perfect. I knew where to go somewhere to get stocked up. I just forgot how to get there. Thank you. Let's get moving, guys.
I do a little salute.
Real quick, thank you for the follow, Poseidon Greek. I do appreciate it. So you all are continuing along the river?
Seems so.
Yes.
Okay. Same with you, Zim?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't split the party.
All right, let's see what the next tile has.
You know what makes me wonder? Hey, Jet, could you go fishing by electrocuting the water?
I don't know if any of us are really aware of our types yet.
But I know you cause electricity on the crystals.
I think, well, first off, we don't really remember much of anything that happened in that cave.
Well, we don't remember why we were irritated.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was just why
Do we
were
remember
irritated.
everything else then?
You do remember everything else, just not the why you're irritated at each other.
Okay, so Jet would have remembered that because like Jet probably would have been a little irritated over Argus. He still would have been a little irritated, not to that level, but over Argus playing with stuff.
Communication. And understanding.
Yeah, I was, from what I understood, it was a, Jet did not remember being upset about anything happening in there, so I was trying to figure out how to roleplay that. In not knowing. Anyways, moving on.
Thank you for the follow, Pure Slime. I do appreciate it. This is actually the perfect tile for our next little section. Would everyone like to know what that section is?
What
Yes.
is that section?
As you all are coming through, the river continues to widen out and out until eventually it cascades down into a great waterfall. Down into a somewhat shallow pit below before flowing on for parts unknown. You can see, however, that straddling this waterfall is what appears to be a, well, compared to all the other buildings around it, a relatively new building. It is hanging over the river, kind of like it's almost stapled or nailed to the sides of two buildings that just happen to be sturdy enough to stay there. And you can clearly see right on the front door a little sign that has a picture of a Rapidash, a blazing fire-like horse upon it.
Blazing Stallion! We're supposed to go here.
Indeed we are, darling.
Well, glad we got here without too much of an incident. Let's keep moving. Yay! And Azurus happily trots along, his scales clinging back and forth. Like wind chimes being held while someone walks or jogs.
And Arjun is following after, trotting happily, carrying his crystal, which is way too oversized.
I think I have a gift for the whole happy trotting somewhere.
Okay.
Happy trot.
Is everyone heading inside?
Yeah.
Yes.
As you
Azurus
all,
will knock. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, as you all approach the door, you can catch the scent of something delicious inside, and you can see some warm lights and the sound of voices.
Azurus will
Hello.
knock when he gets up to the door.
As soon as your knuckles touch the door, it suddenly slams open, and what appears to be a, somewhat stumbling purple monkey kind of comes out, and he turns around, he kind of points on the side, like, yo, I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. And then he kind of stumbles off into the darkness.
Do we just walk in?
I would say so, it looks like it.
Bye, Mr.
Yeah.
Monkey.
Were we supposed to meet this monkey or something?
They didn't say anything about a monkey, just the blazing stallion.
Jolene is going to start going in because everybody seems very indecisive.
Okay. Jolene, as you head inside, you can see that it is a simple atmosphere. There's just wooden furniture set up, about 6 or 8 tables kind of scattered around the room. You can see over in one corner a relatively blazing fireplace, and you can hear the dull rumble of the waterfall just outside. But instead of it being a frightening sound, it's an almost comforting one. Behind a long, polished desk, or bar, rather, you can see what appears to be a. Let me check my notes here. You can see what appears to be a rather purplish pig that has various black lumps kind of stuck upon its head. He gives you a smile and a kind of come hither sort of look. Around the place, you can see a variety of different Pokemon, each enjoying some food and drink, as well as scampering here and there, two almost rodent-like individuals. One with a, I'm trying to remember, one with a red minus on its face, and the other with a blue plus.
Jolene's going to look back to the others, kind of give a little wave, and start heading over to the what I assume is a Grumpig. Or
Okay.
I think that's what Splank evolves into.
Yeah. Argus is following Jolene, the scary Jolene.
She's not as scary now.
Scariest person here.
All right. What is everyone else doing?
Jet's gonna proceed in, taking in the room and cautiously moving up to the up with Jolene.
Xerath will do the same, making sure that everyone else comes in as well.
As you all kind of shuffle into the room, some of the patrons look over at you, and while there's a couple of more shifty glances, by and large, they all kind of look at you with a certain level of warmth and friendliness that not even the town of Starlight gave you. The atmosphere seems more or less welcoming. To those of you who go up to the what now appears to be the owner of the establishment, he kind of gives you a big old warm smile. He's just like,
So, I see new travelers have arrived. Go ahead and have yourself a seat.
Jet's gonna take a look at the bar, and how tall is the bar?
the
I
bar
assume
actually
there's
is
bar
divided into.
seats.
Yeah, the bar is actually divided into 2 sections. One section is up higher than all of you, and it has similarly tall bar stools. But on the other side, you can see a much smaller one with smaller bar stools. Or in the case of, for some of the quadrupeds, it simply has a small little bar hanging on the underneath of it for you to prop your paws up onto.
Argus
Like a
is going to
small
try to
iron
get
bar.
on one of the tall seats. You know, set his crystal on one of the tall seats and then try to climb up to get on top of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me a dexterity survival athletic.
Jet will go over to one of the quadruped ones.
You managed to scramble up onto that seat, and you proudly sit there with your tail hanging out and your feet dangling off the floor.
My crystal right beside me.
The owner of the establishment just simply gives a short guffaw, just like, and he just turns away as he finishes polishing out a cup, and he waits for the rest of the party to kind of get seated.
Xerath will get seated on one of the quadrupedal seats next to Jet.
What is everyone else doing?
Jolene is going to probably float up to one of the higher seats and plop herself down on it gently.
Argus
then-
lost his feeling of being special.
But
You bad.
then Jolene would also say while she's sitting down, "Thank you for the hospitality, darling. Actually, we were told we should come here by Edge. That's the name.
Yeah. Mr.
Okay.
Edge sent us here. He told us to tell you he sent us.
Oh, Edge. Oh, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Usually his and his kin don't come all the way out here. What are you, new guildmates of his? Oh, that silly kid, always trying to come up with something or another. He never took the time to settle down and actually do what's proper.
Yes, we're actually
I'm
guildmates.
so
or...
confused. We're on a mission for him, though.
A mission? Oh, I bet it's a very important one, isn't it?
Very important mission. We're gonna save the town.
The
We need to go to the Rainbow Falls.
Rainbow Falls, you say? Oh, well, you still got a ways to go before you get there.
And he kind of hoards a little bit of spit. He just kind of spits it over in a bronze bowl that's just kind of hidden out of sight, where you hear just like ba-ding.
Ah,
And he then waves over at his help, and he just kind of directs him over to a new bit of food that has suddenly appeared over at the window.
So, you want to go to Rainbow Falls?
Yeah. Somehow.
And what's the path you plan on taking there?
Well, we are going through Overgrowth. We hadn't really decided where else. We just know our destination.
Well, you're almost through Overgrowth as it is. Place shifts around some, but I keep a good eye on it. I'd say maybe you've got about another 100 yards or so.
Yeah, hey, that's not far at all. I can see that far.
But I'd say if you're going to go to the next place,
He kind of takes a look over at a piece of paper that's kind of stapled on the wall nearby.
I'd say you might want to avoid the Dead Yard. That place has been trouble ever since last moon.
what happened?
Avoid the dead yard.
I'd just simply say a new kind of group has become situated there, and looking at all you, no offense, I don't think you all are ready for them.
None taken. I think you're right.
it would be best for us to avoid getting out of our depth. Though we
Mm.
might
Plus,
already be
They're-
a little
They sound
bit
like
out.
they'd be scary.
But we might already be a little out of our depth, but we better avoid getting any more so.
Well, what's the route you would recommend that would take us there the fastest? Because we're kind of time limited.
There's not really much in the way of fastest, but if I had to say the easiest, I'd go through the workshop. I know someone there who can help you through.
That would be awesome. Workshop.
Who is this someone?
Oh, it's an old friend of mine. She's a very lovely gal. Druid, if I recall, that's what she liked to call herself. She holds a nice little nestled spot down there, and she likes to help travelers, so long as you're willing to drink some of her tea and listen to her stories.
Well, I don't mind a story here and there. It's always nice to share them too.
Well, before we get on too much further, what would you all like to have to eat and drink? I can give you all the house special.
Sure. I don't have much, but maybe I can afford a house special?
Oh, don't worry about payment. You're friends of Edge, and I've known Edge for a long time, and he wouldn't send somebody out here without a very good reason. The least I can do is make sure you all don't go hungry for your next step of your journey.
Well,
Thank you. Argus is just all blushy now.
I would definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. He kind of does a short little whistle, and you see a small collection of plates kind of suddenly float up into the air before, in almost of a dance, they whistle around, sweeping up some of the food that's over at the counter. Drinks are poured, and then all of it is deposited gently in front of each and every single one of you. And I will go ahead and I will roll to see what you get. For food, you got a stew. The stew itself has little bits of meat and what appears to be a orange root-like vegetable in it. It smells very hearty, and it looks really good. For your drink, you got a very, very strong drink. It is dark in consistency, and it almost curls the fur on your muzzles as soon as you take a look at it.
Azarus takes in the smells of it and goes, "Ah, thank you for your kind generous. What shall I call you by?"
And that's a good question. Let me take a look down at my stuff here. Of course.
You can call me Todd.
Thank you, Todd, for the food.
Mm-hmm. Now eat up. There's a long journey ahead of you all still yet to go. Mm-hmm. Oh, before I ask, or before I let any of you go, do any of you happen to know a fire type move? Or some way that you can create fire?
I have a stick.
Would you be willing to use that stick to help me with something?
Yeah.
Do we know how to... Do we understand types yet?
Nobody's actually taken the time to explain it to you, no.
That's what I was thinking. Jet's going to speak up. What do you mean by fire type? You mean like making a campfire?
I can make a campfire. I've got a stick. I have 2 sticks. As I pull out the other stick from my main.
He kind of takes a look over at you, Jet, and his smile just kind of breaks ever so slightly before it comes back just as wide and as warm as before.
Oh, well, your typings, of course. I was wondering if any of you knew a fire type move. Breathing fire.
We don't really know anything about that stuff. We kind of just woke up here, and the only thing we know is that the guild leader told us we were Pokemon, and we don't really even know what that means.
Oh, I see.
He kind of like pulls up a chair, but instead of grabbing it, it just sort of slides in behind him, and he sits down with a rough little oink.
You see, every single Pokemon has a special power inside of them. Some may even have more than one. As you can see by me moving all of these little objects around, I am what is known as a psychic type. Others can breathe fire, smash rocks, or even do abilities that I can't even conceive of. You,
And he kind of looks you up and down.
if I recall, are something of an electric ghost. You probably have noticed a little bit of a detachment from things around you. And I feel like you've experienced the shock of your lightning at least once. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Slides. I appreciate it.
I must be a dinosaur type.
He gives a very short chuckle at that.
No. You are what I would imagine is... He gives you another look up and down. You must be a rock dragon. Yes, you've got the air of one.
I don't have the wings. Do I grow wings?
Oh, that's a mystery that I don't know.
What about Jolene? Jolene seems interesting. I don't think they'd be.
A yummy type. I mean, food
Is
type?
there?
Well, with that smell, that's gotta be fairy. Tell me, Jolene, do you feel like you are light on your feet at times? Well, as light as you can be without feet, anyway.
Well, darling, I would say I feel pretty light and airy, to put it in a easy to understand way.
Mm-hmm. And do you respond well to the emotions of others? I feel like you do.
Well, I try to respond well to them, though sometimes I can get a little overwhelmed.
That's something that you'll grow into. Those are the powers of the fairies. Knowing the emotions of others, and having a connection to the world that is detached, but not in the same way as ghosts. Almost like you are above as opposed to below.
He kind of stretches out and puts his hands on his big belly.
So, now that someone has finally managed to tell you what apparently no one has told you yet, each of you will have access to little powers and abilities that is unique to you and you alone, though others may certainly try to copy them depending on their own typing. When I asked if somebody had fire, I was wondering if any of you knew a little spark, because I've got something special that I have to let off before the night is over.
Well,
Wanna help?
you said I am electric?
That's right.
We do also have one more member of our group. Jet's gonna turn around and look for Amos. Wernimal, do you happen to be there?
Yep.
I guess
Todd
not.
kind of looks around and then gives out another short laugh of surprise. He's like,
I should have noticed. A growler, of course. He was just so quiet, I barely saw him. I don't smell that spark of fire around you yet. I don't think you've got fire yet, do you?
and he kind of turns to the group as a whole.
But that doesn't matter. If anyone is willing to help, I'll gladly accept your assistance, and I'm sure we'll figure out a solution.
I raise both my sticks in the air. I want to help. I know how to make fire with sticks.
Well, can electricity help with that?
Sure, so long as you don't call down the lightning on us.
I wouldn't be
I don't-
surprised Jet could
I
do
don't
that.
know. He almost called down the lightning on me.
Then go ahead and take a moment to eat. I'll let you all settle in, and I'll come get you in about 3 minutes. I gotta go finish preparing it.
And then he kind of saunters off through a back door. allowing you all to take a moment to smell your stew, visualize your dark drinks. Yes, I said visualize. And all together, just get used to the atmosphere and the sudden lack of what appears to be danger.
Hold up,
I
we're
like that.
getting a
As well.
sense of danger?
No, you're getting a lack of a sense of danger.
Oh, okay.
And I will be right back as well, so go ahead and role play real quick.
I don't honestly know what he means by visualize our drinks, though.
I don't
Okay.
either.
I don't
Li- uh,
either.
Okay, picture grape juice, but really dark, like black grape, like really, really dark. Oh, like Coke or Pepsi or some dark soda, but not as fizzy.
Okay,
want a
but where does the
soda.
visualize thing come into play?
Can
No,
I
just
have a soda? Oh wait, I have a soda, but mine's not dark. Mine is orange.
Orum.
orange Fanta.
Anyways, where does that come into play?
Who knows?
Just make it up as you go.
I'm wanting to know if this is some reference or something that I don't know.
It
You can
probably
ask me
is.
later.
You're too old for the references.
I need to run to the bathroom real quick, so I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Azareth
I'm
is
back.
definitely taking the time to eat and try out the drink.
Martin! Oh, look at the cutie.
All right, I am back. I apologize for that.
Okay.
And
Were
Jolene
you
just went to the
able to-
restroom.
Were you able to hear us still?
No. Unfortunately, my headphones are wired.
Okay.
So
We're trying to
Jolene-
figure out how to visualize a drink.
Well, when I say visualize, it's because it appears to be a very strong drink to the extent that I assume none of you have actually taken a taste of it yet.
Well, you told us to visualize our drinks, and I have no idea what that means.
It means it's kind of a daunting drink. It's something that looks a little intimidating to all of you.
Okay.
Azareth will sniff at the drink first. Before taking a drink.
The drink itself, despite smelling rather strong, it has a very pleasant, almost savory taste to it. It's not necessarily like water or the stew that you have just taken a bite of or anything of the sort. It's got a very unique flavor. It's thick, savory. It's almost like drinking gravy if one had to put something to it, but it feels as refreshing as drinking cold water.
Oh, this is good. Very refreshing. I say we try to come here every now and then. Once. If
We don't get
save the
kicked
town.
out.
Hey, what is everyone else up to?
Jet is going to kind of start scarfing down the food a bit, trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, you know, it's like it's been he's only got 3 minutes to eat, so he's feeling rushed on that. Plus, he's probably rather hungry at this point.
I imagine so.
Argus is just gonna empty his bowl right into his maw because he's got a big mouth.
Jet will laugh at the drink every now and then.
Did we determine what visualize your drink meant?
Yes. It just meant a drink that was kind of intimidating because of the strong smell.
Ah. Okay. Jolene would probably drink the drink and eat the soup pretty quickly.
Drink the drink, eat the eat.
Yep.
Drink the drink and eat the eat. Wet the What?
So does the
That
drink
hasn't-
change Jolene's color?
Oh, this is a good question.
Oh. Oh,
Uh,
good question.
Did
It
it change the
changed-
flavor?
It does actually change your color, but it's not the expected sort of way. Instead of you becoming like, say, the same brownish color as the drink, you actually take on a very light red tone.
Hey, Jolene,
I was
can
thinking
poke
we'd
you with a
leave that
stick
up
to
to-
see if you taste different.
I was thinking we'd leave that up to Jolene, but that's fair.
No, I was gonna say we could roll or to see if it happens or not, but I'm fine with it changing my color.
Presumably
Yeah, it'll-
temporarily, but you know.
Yeah, it only lasts for about 30 seconds after every sip.
Interesting. But yeah, no, to Argus's question, Jolene would just kind of give a little nod as she's taking yet another sip of the drink.
And I am going to poke her with my slightly tasty stick.
Duke.
How funny.
And then taste my stick.
It tastes like a mixture of her and the drink.
Not as good as before.
All right. Sorry for the wait.
And Todd kind of comes back in the swinging door behind him, kind of slapping him a little bit on the tail. And he gives a short little grunt of annoyance.
Well, anyway, I've got the setup ready. Are you two ready?
Ready.
Jet's kind of coughing a little bit, because again he was scarfing it down quickly. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing, but yeah.
All right. You don't need anything. You,
And he points over to you, Argus.
go ahead and light one of your sticks on the fire over there.
Yes, I will happily light my stick on the fire.
Okay. Go
The
ahead and roll for-
non-tasty one.
Go ahead and roll for me a dexterity survival athletic, please. Oh. You hop off that chair with grace.
I have much practice being a cute little dinosaur now.
But there's a thud, isn't it? Because, he's heavy.
Mm-hmm. There's a bit of a thud.
Jolene, protect my crystal.
Okay, darling.
And I go light. I light the fire on my stick.
You light the fire on your stick, and it crackles merrily.
Good. Now then, if you two will follow me, we'll go ahead and we'll get this done.
I am happily following with my flaming stick, because I like fire.
He pushes open the side door, or the back door, and he allows it to kind of stay open to allow both of you kind of to pass on through, so that way it doesn't bop either of you in the nose. And then he proceeds up a set of stairs. You come across to the second floor, and you can see an arrangement of different rooms on both sides. But he ignores all of them, continues onward, up another set of stairs, until finally he reaches the top, and he throws open a small little hatch and climbs up and out. Thank you for the follow, Torque. I do appreciate it.
So how exactly does he go up the hatch?
It's just at the top of the stairs. He just kind of climbs up.
Okay, there's stairs. I was like,
Mhm.
ladders and quadrupeds don't mix very well. Jet will follow up and out, taking stock of the situation.
As you climb on out, you realize that you are on top of the roof of the building. It seems to be relatively flat. with just slightly sloped sides that lead downward, assumedly to keep any rain and snow off of the roof. You can see over on one far side a little weather vane kind of just swinging back and forth aimlessly. Just kind of almost delighted, like as if it was just to exist in the wind. On the other side of that, though, you can see what appear to be 3 little plastic tubes. Todd kind of approaches these plastic tubes and waves both of you over.
So,
I will hop over, waving my flaming stick around.
what exactly is it that you want us to do here?
We're gonna let off a signal.
A signal? What are we signaling?
With an almost sleight of hand, he reveals 3 little balls in his hand. And he shows them to you. They're kind of round with a small little strip of rope kind of just popping out of them.
When we light these and put them in the tubes, they're gonna get shot up into the sky. They're gonna explode. That is how I let everyone know that this establishment is still here and it's still safe for everyone.
That's kind of cool, but if you do that constantly, why don't you have a fire type move?
Because then I wouldn't get to meet all of my customers as much.
Fair.
Well, I'm happy to help. I just, like I said, I don't really know exactly how.
I know your type. You have
Rygon?
a little thing that... What's up?
Are you on TikTok?
No, I am not.
Weird.
Why do you ask?
Your chat?
Oh, I see. No, I am not on TikTok. If I am on TikTok, then that's because somebody else has put me there. Although I don't recall, I think I saw earlier something about a happy birthday. I don't recall ever singing a happy birthday to somebody and then putting put on TikTok.
Yeah, same here. I've been seeing that. Oh, so apparently it was somebody else that sung the happy birthday, but they are hosting you, and so everybody's
Oh, I see.
coming to you thinking you're the person.
Gotcha. No, I'm not the one who sang the TikTok, the happy
Well-
birthday on the TikTok, but I'm happy to have you all here anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and greet everybody real quick, just because you do have a lot of first-time chatters here. And
Sure.
explain what's going on here real quick.
So first off, my name is Rygon. This is Pokerole, Starlight Expeditions, and this is my little crew here: Blue, Zim, Arum, Were Animal, and Linden. First off, I say hello to all of you. It is an absolute pleasure to have you all here, and I'm sorry if I haven't been responding to any of you. Well, we are doing tabletop games. We tend not to respond to chat, except for follows, subscriptions, donations, simply because it interrupts the flow of the game, and we like to kind of keep things moving along. But trust me, I am reading each and every single one of your messages. So, for example, if you redeem a hydrate, I do take a drink. I do promise. But thank you all so much for coming on by. I really hope that you get to enjoy the stream and the wonderful roleplay that are coming out of my players here. And I promise you that there is certainly more to come. I myself, for example, am a variety streamer and I play all sorts of things. So if you like to have a nice, relaxing stream, feel free to stick around. Again, thank you all so much for coming by and saying hi.
And again, we do have several others that are streaming as well.
That's true.
I will snack.
Blue Draconics is streaming as well as Raw Zim. I will go ahead and I'll give them both a shout out and we can check their streams out. They're both excellent streamers, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them both immensely. Blue, what is the last 3 letters? 187, I think?
381.
381.
381.
You
I don't know where I
almost
was
got
getting
the
these.
other numbers right.
I know, right?
You almost got them. It's a different set of combinations. But dang, you almost got that one right for some reason. I'm impressed.
I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer.
And that one means something else to me. But 381 is the number to go by because I thought I had numbers. I'll get rid of them at some point. So I don't have to keep asking.
We will
Better
be going
sooner
on
than
break
later.
here real soon. We'll be going on about a 5 to 10 minute break as we're reaching the halfway point. Just to give everyone a chance to get up, go to the bathroom, get drinks, etc. So if anyone has any questions, we can answer them then.
Rygon?
Yes.
If we're gonna, like, if we continue past a half hour from now, we would be losing Wernimal.
Okay. Well, what does the party think? Should we continue with -1, or should we just kind of stop there? I'll leave this up to a group decision.
I mean, we will have sessions where we do not have all the players. That is just an inevitability. So, and I won't lie, I would love to continue on as long as we can. But yeah.
My opinion, Amos hasn't been really. He's been really distracted with the outside world and things going on in his life. No offense to that, but it's important for him. I personally think this would be a nice stopping point so we can get him caught up.
Okay.
After the scene, of course.
I'm also fine with stopping for Amos. I worry about leaving people behind. It's happened to me before, and it's not a fun feeling when you don't know what happened.
Welcome.
We are
the
recording
Hamlet.
this, so he could go watch it, and there is also the fact that, I mean, I would like to at least go another half hour, because, for my stream rater thing, but, personally, I would also love to go as long as we can tonight.
And I would also say, before you all got to a super important part, that I would definitely be stopping it before then as well. So that way all individuals can be involved in that. Right now, you all are kind of going through more minor stuff right now. There's no real earth-shaking thing, so that's why it's okay that if we have a player who's a little absent or who, is a bit preoccupied. But if we got to something important, then I would stop it so that way everyone could be involved.
Okay, so we could keep going until we get to that, and we do have our recaps. We'll just to fill him in on what happened.
But again, this is a group decision, so I will respect whatever the group decides.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jolene?
While I do want to keep going, at the same time, I'm also starting to get very tired, and I don't know why. And I don't know if I'll be able to go much more than half an hour. I think it's because I have insomnia, and so sometimes I get extremely tired from not being able to sleep properly through the rest of the week.
Okay.
And this is one of those rare times when I'm actually getting tired and not just sitting there, like, getting more energy.
Well, then it sounds like the group consensus is that we'll end in a half hour, so probably no break.
I would agree with that then. All right. So what do you all do? He hands out the not the short, but the small little balls with the tip oriented towards both of you. And he also says to use them.
I know your type. I would say you've got a little bit of electric in you. Why don't you try holding your rock and concentrating?
He handed Jet a rock?
No, I believe you've been carrying a rock. haven't you?
The crystal.
Oh yeah, well, the crystal. I also had. I don't remember actually mentioning it, but I did want to bring.
Yeah, you put it in your bag when we hit the plains.
The not the crystal, one of the meteorite that he was trying to push around.
Well, I
That he
mean,
was
either
trying
or.
to use it on.
Do you have a rock at all?
Oh, probably the meteorite then.
Yeah, you can go ahead and use that.
Okay.
He holds up the ball to use him, and he just simply states,
Go ahead. Concentrate. Take your time.
and you don't have to roll for this.
Yay! Jet's just going to focus, doing his best to try to figure out how to tap into whatever energy is inside of him.
You can feel kind of what feels almost like dancing fireflies deep within you. It's like trying to hold on to a cloud. But the more you concentrate, the easier it seems to become to kind of wrap around it. Not necessarily fighting against it, but almost flowing with it.
Sorry, what exactly is flowing?
Fireflies.
The power, just the description.
Okay. And where do you want me to direct this? I think I got something.
Go ahead and touch the tip of your nose to this little, or the tip of your rock to this little wick right here.
He's holding the rock in his mouth. He's gonna lean in and touch it to the wick.
There's a sudden. Go ahead.
Just focusing inwardly and kind of trying to feel it along. It would probably be the different the plates on his back are lighting up and crackling a little bit, starting at the tail and moving slowly up to his the base of his neck and then zapping through. Provided it works.
There's a sudden spark. With a brief flash of light, suddenly the wick is letting off a big stream of little sparks on it.
Wonderful, wonderful. I can tell you are going to have a very interesting time as you develop these powers of yours.
And he kind of chunks it into one of the tubes. He holds up the other two to Argus.
Do you mind?
My turn, my turn! And Argus thinks about booping it with his nose, but he doesn't think that would work. So he sticks the flaming stick in his mouth and boops it with the flaming end.
Both of the wicks automatically light thanks to the power of your flaming stick, and he chunks them both into the tubes as well.
All right, let's go and stand back a little bit.
Argus is just going to idly chew on the flaming part of the stick now.
Tastes slightly ashy. As you all stand back, the tubes suddenly rock out like an explosion, and you can see a bright flash kind of race up into the sky. Boom! A brilliant green blossom suddenly opens up before quickly fading away. And then again, boom, boom. You can see a blue flower appear into the sky. Boom, boom. And then finally, a red, almost willow-like creation suddenly form. Each one only briefly lasting for a few seconds before fading away. Todd kind of looks up with a happy sigh before looking down at both of you.
Well, what did you think?
I think that was pretty, and I want to be a firework type.
But what
Those
about
were
you, Zim?
those were very interesting. I'd be curious to see how they work.
I don't know quite for sure, but one of my patrons comes in every so often and gives them to me as in return for a little bit of food and a little bit of drink. Maybe if you
Maybe
manage
we
to
can
catch
meet
him
them.
sometime, he can give you some as well.
I want to meet that patron. I want exploding balls of light. I wonder if they could be my nightlight.
I wouldn't recommend it.
And then he kind of starts meandering over to the hatch.
All right, that's enough. Let's go and get down to your friends. Hopefully they haven't gotten up into too much mischief.
Zim, you now have one less roll for your power. So that was an automatic success for you.
Do I have one less roll for my flaming stick power?
Unfortunately, you do not.
Aw.
Hang on, you do, but unfortunately the number's so high, it's impossible to get it.
Maybe if you practice, you can be like one of those like flaming stick wielders that just kind of like flash it around
One day.
one day.
I need to also invent matches so that I can just strike the stick on the ground and it suddenly sets alight.
Yeah, there you go.
I actually might be able to help you with that. But you have to realize you can do it with Azareth first.
So while they
guess-
were busy upstairs, what was everyone else doing?
Does Julie want to go first and explain what they were doing?
Jolene would have just been sitting there, or really, she's just waiting for the other two to get back so she can ask Mr. Todd more about this friend of his that we're going to go meet.
You kind of feel like somebody is staring at you, Jolene.
Somebody staring at her. She would try and figure out who.
Okay. You look around here, there, before finally you hear a ahem, and you look down. I assume you look down.
Yeah. Say. If that's the direction that the him came from, that's the direction she's looking.
Okay. Thank you for the follow, Pewds Chaotic Ken. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. As you look down, you see one of the two rodents. This one with the, I want to say blue plus mark on its cheeks, or is it red?
Blue plus mark.
Okay, it's blue. You see one of them with a blue plus mark on its cheeks, and it kind of looks up at you in a very almost too cute of a manner. Hello. Do you want anything else?
Not right now, darling, but I do thank you for asking. That is very appreciated.
Of course. My name's Daniel, and I'm here to help out and make sure everyone's got their drinks and got their food. And he kind of turns over to the other patrons. Do either of you need something?
One moment.
Oh, I see you've got food in your mouth. Never mind.
Azareth nods. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, I'm
But
glad.
no thanks. I don't need anything more right now. I think what we
Okay.
got is really nice.
Okay. Well, if you need something, please just let us know, okay? And he kind of gives a little bit of a curt nod before tripping, getting up, and then running off again.
Ooh, cute.
The rest would be like, the whole, like, oh no. Oh, they're fine. Precious.
Very precious.
Todd eventually makes his way back through the door, leading Jet and Argus behind him. And he gives a short wave before he heads on into the kitchen, leaving the group alone once more, with nothing more than just a simple mumble of patrons in the background.
So, what was that loud bang?
We set something on fire, and it blew up in the sky and made flowers.
Azris looks at
Uh,
Jet.
Actually, that's not a bad description of it. Did he actually call them fireworks, by the way?
No, he did not.
Okay. Todd wanted us to help him launch some signals up to let everyone know the inn was still here and safe, so they know that they could come. And but yeah, they were some kind of like fire flower thing up in the sky.
That sounds really cool. Oh, when we get a chance, shouldn't we also ask him about getting bags?
You know, he might actually have some for the rest of you. Jet's gonna look around for Todd. I assume he came down with.
Yeah, he went back to the back of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. You can see his help kind of scampering all over the place, though. Just some with drinks, some without drinks, or just food, doing their best to try and keep things flowing.
Mr. Edge did say they could stock us up, but maybe that's something for after we rest.
Do we want to spend the night here?
Probably not a whole night, but we can at least, recuperate and rest a little bit. And then we can go to the workshop. Because that's what Mr. Todd said.
Azris is gonna go look at the map that was stapled on the wall.
Okay.
Or was it a piece of paper?
It was just a piece of paper.
Okay.
It isn't necessarily a full map, but you can see like outlines. You can see what states Starlight over at the top of it. And then you can kind of see spreading out like a spider web, various other little locations that are circled. And then from those locations, more locations, and they're circled and so on. You can see 3 extending out from Overgrowth. The Dead Yard, the one that I forget, and the Ancient Workshop.
The cultists.
Yeah, the cultists, thank you.
So, all we need to do is just go in that direction and we'll make it to the workshop. Sounds easy enough.
And he had a friend that could take us, that could help us through the workshop, and then we make it to the Rainbow Falls. And then we save the day.
Yep, and prevent more meteors from falling, because boy does that hurt.
And then I won't be scared of anything. That's how that works.
Meteors? What do you mean meteors?
Todd kind of comes out wiping a mug clean.
Oh,
What's
there are
going
meteors
on?
that were falling through the crack in the shield.
Well, that's impossible. The Guildmaster never lets anything through. Nothing that shouldn't be, anyway.
That's why we're going out to
Fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
meteors and bugs. Lots of bugs.
Bugs?
Because
Argus
he
is like
takes on.
having a panic attack.
Well, I guess. What was the name? Smoke?
For which one?
The one that sent us here?
Edge.
Edge.
Edge. Well, I guess Edge does trust you. But we're trying to find one of the crystals from the guild leader. Somebody stole
Wait.
it.
Wait. Crystals? What kind of
Yes.
crystal?
He kind of looks awkwardly at the others before back at
Sure,
Todd.
the ones on the antlers, because he had a lot of missing ones. And now I think there's one more missing one.
Yes. Somebody stole them, or stole one of them.
And they're at Rainbow Falls.
His face kind of drains of color, and you can see a very clear white, pale shade suddenly just wash over it.
Did you turn into a ghost type?
You should probably all get going then. I would ask that you all stay, but this is not something that you could just stay here for.
It is
Yeah,
not.
bags.
He gives a nod and a short whistle.
Daniel, David, get some supplies from the back. How long has it been since that gem has been stolen?
Middle of the night.
Probably a few hours at this point.
If it's still night, we still got time. I think.
He kind of thinks to himself a little bit.
That means you all probably have at least 12 hours left. That's not a long time. The ancient workshop alone is probably going to take you at least 6 to get through.
Oh.
That's
Oh
6
boy.
there and 6 back.
Yes, that's why I say you can't stay here. If it's taken you this long to get through this area, then you need to make haste, or you might not make it back in time.
Thank you for the follow, Maddie. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Is there no faster way?
He shakes his head.
No. The only way that you could potentially make it any faster would be to travel by air, and I don't think any of you are capable of that.
Well, actually, I'm just gonna point up at Jolene.
Yeah, Jolene does kind of float, but
Adventures of Jolene.
yeah. Don't know if it'd be smart for me to go on my own, darling.
Carry us with you?
I don't
What?
think Julian can. I think what we do is once we get supplies, we start jogging. And then we have quick tea time and story time on the way as we go through the ancient workshop with Todd's friend. We gotta go quick.
Druid.
Why, do you think I said it takes 6 hours?
The two little rodents come back, and they're each carrying a bag full of bulging almost with what appears to be food and other little essential supplies. Todd picks them up and he hands them out.
All right, here you go.
Thank you for the hospitality, Todd.
We'll be back soon.
I look forward to it. You all have been very pleasant company.
He points over to the door that is apparently opposite of the front door that you just came in.
Go out through there and you should end up on the other side of the river. Just make your way a little bit further and you should be out of Overgrowth.
Okay.
Wait. And Argus is going to run up to the bar and grab his crystal before he forgets it.
Darn, you almost forgot it.
Never.
Hey, why don't we leave it here with Todd? I know you like it, but it might slow us down if we are dealing with a lot.
It's important.
I'm not gonna argue with this. Let's keep moving.
Okay. Is everyone heading out the door?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did we get bags of supplies then?
Yes.
You did.
Okay.
He just said he gave us bags with food and supplies.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Headed out.
Okay. Todd and his two helpers kind of give a little wave before you all head out the door.
Bye, Todd. Bye, Dave. Or David. Bye, Daniel.
You can see the one that stated that they were Daniel a little bit earlier say, "Hey, I'm Dave. I'm David."
Argus goes
Let's keep moving,
swirly-eyed.
jogging. Bye.
Argus hurts himself in confusion.
And we start
It
running down
does.
the path, I guess.
Yeah, you all start running down the path.
Argus rolls down the path because it's faster to roll than run.
Is it downhill?
You said down a path, so
You didn't say downhill.
It's kind of it's got a little bit of a slope to it, but one of those things that it doesn't matter. Okay, so you all have made it across the gap.
Yay.
Okay, well, actually, I guess it was more like this one. Do we wish to stop here then? We're just about to hit our half-hour mark.
I say yes.
yep.
Yeah, we can go ahead and end here.
Okay. Then we'll quickly do our after session, if everybody doesn't mind. Just your same basic 2 questions. Blue, something you liked, something that you think could do with some improvement. And we'll just quickly go through.
I really liked how you did the encounter. The encounter was really nice, and you even crafted to our own capabilities. Even if it was someone else, I would still be impressed. Something that could be better. Unsure. I think this was a fairly decent session.
Okay. Zim, something you liked, something that could have been better. Something that could have done with improvement.
I liked the little kind of training thing to introduce the abilities and such. Something to do better. More of those?
More of the training? Oh, you mean
Yeah.
like the holding your rock up to the wick?
Yeah. Like the little free success thing that you gave and just learning how to do that stuff.
Exactly.
I liked how you did that.
Yeah, that was kind of my plan with that particular mechanic from the get-go. That way you're not having to roll for every single one. If they're used creatively or you're trained with them, you do get those automatic successes.
Like me. I can roar with 1 dice.
You will hear me squeak.
Thou wilt hear me squeak.
All right. Aram, what about you? What's something you like, something you think could have been improved?
I love the encounter with the crystals, and I am planning on taking that crystal home.
Perfectly fine.
It's going to cause so many problems.
Oh, goodness. Thank you for the follow, Bimu, and it's Mads. What's something that could have been improved on?
The only thing I can think of would maybe be the empty plains we skirted around felt, well, empty, but that's probably the mechanic. I don't know. That one just felt kind of empty, but it could have just had nothing in it.
Well, to be fair on that one, there has to be at least a couple of empty ones because literally every single step you all have taken has had something in it. I needed at least
Fair.
one that was a transition.
Fair.
You needed a transition room.
Mm-hmm. Something so that I could kind of prep for the next one, depending on whatever it is you all drew anyway. Were Animal, if you're there, feel free to state something you liked, something that you think could have been improved on, over in the chat box if you wish. While you're typing that out, if you're here, Lyndon, what is something you like, something you think could have been improved on?
I enjoyed the fact that the crystals were making people get irritated, and that that the more basically they got tampered with, the more that happened. I thought that was an interesting thing for there. And as usual, I can't really think of anything that can be improved because generally I just enjoy everything about the campaign so far. Though if I think of anything, I will obviously let you know.
Okay. Well, for me, I thought the campaign, at least this time this time around, went very good. I'm really happy with how you all played the crystal section. As kind of Zim brought up, he was kind of worried a little bit that it might come to blows, but I'm glad that I left it open enough that you all kind of took the initiative and you played it out in a fairly appropriate way.
I failed a RAR.
The
I'm
encounter, go ahead.
I'm wondering if Argus can use that crystal because he wasn't afraid when he was angry. I'm wondering if he can use the crystal he has to make himself angry so that he's not afraid.
Well, I suppose it's something we'll have to find out. But
Finally gets that roar off, maybe.
the encounter did come a bit earlier than I had expected, but that's just kind of the luck of the draw with the random tiles. And I felt that was the most appropriate place to put it at. So there are quite a few encounters left. We will obviously see what happens. Though judging from how many were taken up by even this small section, I'm thinking I'll probably have to make at least 3 or 4 more encounters to help bulk up the others.
That makes me worried. As long as it's not more weather.
Oh, that it is what it is. Although we didn't meet our donation goal for today, so there's still some faces that I think you all can encounter in the next little bit.
Let's see. The bar shop. I wish I could put there more. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, before I let you all go and we kind of move on to something else, does anyone have any last thoughts?
Not on the session.
Not in session? Okay.
Yeah, not on the session.
All right, then. I'll go ahead and I'll let you all go. I'll go ahead and save the table. To anyone watching, this is not the end of the stream. This is just simply the end of the Pokerole. So feel free to stick around, and I'm sure we'll move on to something else here momentarily. Okay.
I do have a thing I'm going to run off to, but I'm going to go ahead and mute and deafen and do my outro and whatnot.
Yep.
Blue, are you still streaming tonight?
Yeah, I think I'll still stream.
All right.
Also, Rygon, can I flip the table?
Yes, you may.
Cool.
My notes!
Anyways, be right
Put
back.
it in a notepad.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for this special out of schedule session of the Starlight Expeditions Pokerole. check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in Okay, I don't know where I cut out at. My mic apparently decided to turn itself off. Thank you for pointing that out, Seda. I would not have noticed. But yeah, that is it for Starlight Expeditions Pokerole. We'll be back on Saturday with more of it. Check out our website and the link tree. Do consider supporting the channel however you can. And like I was also saying, check out those that participate in this in the session here that are also streamers. There will be links to them. There's links to them in the chat here, and there will be links in the description below if you're watching this on YouTube. And of course, also, like I said, check out our link tree for links to our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, and Patreon. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.